Good evening, folks. How you doing? Um, no Sunday chat. It's Saturday night right now as I'm recording this. No Sunday chat this week. We'll be back next weekend for a chat, and we'll probably be over at Ross's channel. There was a comic show, just a very small one. It's probably about, I don't know, 35, 40-minute drive. A place called Dugald, Manitoba. There's a few of them a year. I think it's my favorite little show to go to. There was about 7 or 8 vendors there. The beauty of this little show is there's boatloads of dollar bins. Hello, Gore Vidal. Happy Easter to you too as well. How are you doing? The beauty of this show is there's a lot of dollar bins, and that's kind of what I spent most of my time in. I only had $60 to my name, but I ended up getting about 42 books. So, averaging around what, $1.42 a book kind of thing, which is damn good. I didn't get all just dollar books. There was a couple of more expensive ones. The most expensive was $10 for an issue, and that was, I just couldn't resist. But other than that, this is mostly stuff from dollar bins. So I thought we'd go through this. There's going to be some stuff. If you've watched Comic Book Manifesto, if you've watched Colin's channel, there'll be some stuff in here that was top of mind. And of course, I found in the bins today 3 different books, I think. Starting off with a small stack of Ninja Turtles books, which again aren't usually my go-to, but there was quite a few in some dollar bins. And when I was talking to the guy, Wayne, he said that he bought a collection. I think it was from a store that had gone out of business. And there was quite a few long boxes of Ninja Turtles books, including, I think he told me there was one entire long box that was filled with just issue number 2. Now, I don't know what printings there are. I'm not up to speed on what the printings are for each of the Ninja Turtles stuff. So I got mostly cheap ones of later printings, but again, I don't know what printings they are. You'll maybe know more than I do. He also had some that were more expensive. I think he had copies of issue number 2 there for $20 a piece Canadian. He was saying that everything was not bagged and boarded, but had been sitting in the basement of this shop, I guess, since they first got the books in, and just for some reason it probably just got lost in the shuffle. Not really sure. So we had a good chunk of them there just to kind of get a sense of it. I was looking for the issue number 37, which is Rick McCullum from Ashley Dust fame doing that issue. Unfortunately, I didn't see that one there, but I did see another one in here, which I'll get to. So I just kind of grabbed ones that looked interesting to me. This Turtle Soup issue looked really great. I just started reading it tonight, actually. So this is, what is this, 1986? Is this the 1987 is when this came out. So this is, again, please correct me if I'm wrong about any of this information, but from what I understand, this was kind of their maybe first foray into getting other artists and creators to do Turtles stories. So in this one, we get Steve Bissette, Stan Sakai, Bernie Schumann, Frank Bella, Eric Talbot, John Dowling, and Craig Storman in this. Yeah, I mean, that seemed like not a bad price to me either there, Gore. It's just I was really on limited funds for this one. If I had more money, I would have bought more of the Turtles books for sure. Sorry, one sec. Never mind. Thought I heard someone yelling for me upstairs. So it's a Steve Bissette story off the top. It's so good. It's such a, I mean, it's fantastic that he gave, or that they gave other creators a chance to work with these characters. Very, very much Steve Bissette here. Michelangelo comes back really injured, cut through, and Splinter patches him up, and they each go into their dreams, and they're kind of battling these monsters. But I mean, look at this. Like, that's Bissette if there ever was. So good. Yeah, early Turtles are the best for sure. So from what I gather, Gore Vidal, this first issue came out in '87. Then I think they did 4 other issues. I don't know if this first one got reprinted, but I think there was 4 issues that happened maybe in the '90s of Turtle Soup. Same kind of idea, I guess. I've seen the later ones in one of the shops here in town, but I've never kind of picked it up. But I think this one was either $1 or $2. It was one of the cheaper ones that I picked up anyway. So hello, Gary Usher. It's quite amazing how much liberty they gave the creators, such as Corin Veach and Zoo. Absolutely, Gore. It's really, really great, and just kind of really giving them, like, just go for it. Is kind of was kind of the mantra. It seemed to be just do whatever it is that you want to do. So a really good story off the top. There's some pinups that are spread through here. Some names that I'm not as familiar with, which maybe you guys are. Gary Morita sounds vaguely familiar to me. This is just a 2-pager by somebody named Bella. A pretty unique style here. And then, of course, the one that probably everybody would want. This is the Stan Sakai Turtle Soup and Rabbit Stew. So they do reference Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #8, which I guess is where Isagi Yojimbo first appeared. Is that correct? So here's a great story by Stan Sakai. Like I said, I just started reading this issue. I haven't read this story yet, but it looks fantastic, of course, in that Sakai type of fashion there. Some more pinups. Ryan Brown. I'm not seeing any credits on this one off the top, but it's a pretty thick issue too. It's double sized for sure. Here's the one that kind of got my attention as well too. So this is the showdown with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Eastman and Laird versus the Blazing Tales of Varmints by C.A. Storman. So Mr. Craig Storman from Blue Comet fame. And he was doing the writing. He inked and lettered it as well. So a good opportunity for him to get his characters mixed in with the Turtles as well too. Varmints was one of the series that he had over at Blue Comet there, along with like Life Brigade and some of the other ones. So that's kind of cool to see. It doesn't kind of have that full-on Storman kind of look to it. But yeah. Definitely getting that book. I don't know how I missed them. This week, a new Usagi TMNT team up comes out. Oh, sweet. Just for this week. Mr. Costa, how are you doing, man? Yeah, so I won't go through the entire thing here. Francis Mao here in this next story with some really nice looking art. Again, not a name that sounds familiar to me at all, but this is great. This is really, really great stuff. So that's that one. I don't know the story of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Are these reprints from the early issues? Maybe you guys know better than I do. But there's the cover there. I think this was another one that was in the dollar bins. I haven't looked through this one. This is 1987 as well. Volume 1, number 3. Halloween, always this time of year. I'm reminded of the time when, while we were living in New York City, we tangled with a couple of guys and a magic idol. Let me tell you a story. So, and then here we go. We get into it. So maybe this is another one, Tales of the Turtles, where they've handed things over to somebody. Pencils and layouts. Lawson, inks by Brown. I'm not seeing first names on there. Jim Lawson, is that his name? Jim Lawson? Gary, you might know the answer to that one. Looks great. There was a few issues of this Tales of, but most of them were a little bit higher price. You know, like, I mean, when I say higher price, they were still only like $5 or so. But again, I was on a pretty limited budget, so I kind of let them pass me by. The single issue Leonardo issue, the #1 in a one issue micro series. From what I understand, they did one of each. I think I have, I'm not good with the characters. I think I have the one that takes place in winter already, but I found the Donatello issue and the Leonardo issue there at the show. They had a few copies of each of these as well too, which was pretty great. Is this one a wraparound as well? Yes, it is. There we go. Jumping from the sketchbook. This one I was super thrilled to see. They only had 2 or 3-ish copies of this one. This is How to Draw Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Solson Publications. Never seen this around anywhere. 225. So what's the year on this one? 1986, the Golden Age. So this is fantastic here. I haven't looked through this one yet either. I'm looking forward to it, though. It was one of the characters, even though I didn't have a ton of Ninja Turtles comics when I was a kid. I still knew enough about them, and friends of mine had comics. I think I had, I know I had one issue for sure that's coming up here. I rebought it because it's long gone out of the collection. But I definitely drew some Ninja Turtles in my life. So I would have loved this book off the top. So breaking it down into its basic shapes there. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Rasa already. I had to message her when I came home just to kind of tell her, like, holy shit, I don't know if you have any of these. So I'm going to keep an eye out for her as well, too. Because like I said, the ones that were in the dollar bin were pretty trashed. There's one that I have here that's pretty waterlogged. But again, for $1, I don't mind just to have the book, right? So, and plus the amount of comics that he has from this recent purchase, it sounds like he's got quite a few long boxes just filled with Ninja Turtle stuff. So I imagine Wayne is going to be selling those at a number of conventions for the next little while. So this is very cool. I really like this kind of stuff. I think this is great. And then onto the series proper. So again, I can't tell by the price tags. I'm sure someone out there knows this better. So this is the #7, and it's $1.75. I grabbed it because I had the next couple as well too. And when I got home and I flipped through, I saw there was this color insert here, and it is a Kevin Eastman Richard Corbin collaboration, which I had no idea was in this issue. I know that Corbin did a couple of issues because I have the Ninja Turtles issues that he did, but I didn't know he did something with them even earlier. And I mean, even just seeing the coloring on that top panel there, it's unmistakably Corbin. The Kayfabe guys just today, did that video come out today or was it yesterday? They looked at a few interviews with Corbin and kind of talked Corbin for a bit, which was pretty great. They looked at the Heavy Metal magazine issue, the 4 issues there, that 4-issue interview, the infamous one that even Corbin hated, and then looked at some stuff from another book, which I'm blanking on the name of right now. So that's a super great surprise there, having some Corbin inserted in the middle. And then it looks like some other artists again doing pinups and things. So beautiful, some t-shirt stuff. But I mean, this early stuff you said already. Yeah, Jim Lawson. Thank you there, Gary. Luckily, those books would have sold for $20 or more each. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, there was a bunch that he had bagged and boarded that were $20 and up for sure. In these dollar bins, there was ones that were kind of a bit more banged up, like folded corners. Like I said, one of the ones I picked up had some pretty big water damage at the bottom. But he had some really, really nice copies that were, $20 and up kind of thing. So, but you were saying earlier, Gore, the early stuff, like as much as I just, this kind of stuff really appeals to, especially me, loving the 80s books as I do. This is obviously huge in all of that black and white explosion kind of world of the 80s. So this style really appeals to me. And I mean, look at these covers. These covers are fucking phenomenal, man. Just really, really great. This is the one that I had as a teenager. Gee, I wonder why I had this issue. Anybody? So it was nice to kind of get this one back. So this is a Cerebus in here as well too. Yeah, like I said, I had this one. This is definitely the first one that I got. I may have had one or two other issues, but I wasn't picking them up. I was picking up a bunch of other stuff at that time. But this is a classic. I can't wait to read this one again. So this is 1986 as well. But again, based on that cover price of $1.50, I don't know what printing we're looking at here. I'll have to do some research into it, and there he is there. And then I got issue number 9, $1.50 price tag on this one as well too. There's the cover there. I won't flip through all of these, but just give you a sense of it there. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, you can see here there's a few pages kind of folded up. Oh, and this one's even not cut properly either. So Dave Sim and Eastman have re-released issue 8 on Kickstarter with variant covers. The story was inspired by Time Bandits. Oh, wow. Is that Time Bandits? Is that the Gilliam movie? Or am I thinking of another one? This is the one that was all, you can see all rough along the bottom. This is issue number 38 of TMNT. By Hedden and McWeeny. 1991. So there's a sample of that. Look at almost Ren and Stimpy-ish in this issue here. Made me think it was Bill Ward or one of those guys, actually. But apparently not. And this is the one that I paid the most for. This was at another table. Wayne didn't have this copy in the bundles that he had there. So this one cost me $10. But I grabbed it anyway because it's a Matt Howarth issue. So issue 41 here from 91. And it includes the Post Brothers in this as well too. So I couldn't resist. It was my last $10. And there was still a table, or there were still a couple of tables I hadn't hit. But I couldn't resist. The other thing about this little convention was it was very, very quiet by the time I got there. It was maybe me and 2 other guys digging through boxes. So they were reaching the end of their day. So it was really great, actually. Really, really nice. So yeah, that's a beaut. Like I said, that was the most expensive book I bought at the show. And then this is TMNT Color Special number 1 from 1990. Shell of the Dragon. Another one I've never seen before. Dedicated to Bruce Lee. Kevin, I was going to say, that's a very Baudet kind of layout there on that first page. And that would make sense because it's Mark Baudet doing the art here, or at least he's credited along with Kevin Eastman. So maybe they work together. That's super cool. Haven't looked through this yet, so that's a nice surprise. Yeah, shit, man, look at that. That's amazing. Wow. Unreal, the amount of people that they worked with in this book, like a who's who of that time period, you know, like they're such good time capsules for that era of comics, as well as being just an amazing amazingly influential series just on its own. Forget about having the artists. So penciled, colored, and co-written by Mark Baudet, inked and co-written by Kevin Eastman. Eric Talbot helping out there. Additional coloring, Bill Fitz, lettered by Steve Levine. And I've been thinking about buying another Howarth Turtles for about the same price. Oh, was there another issue there, Gary, besides this one? Is there another Howarth issue? I'm going to have to look into that there. So anyway, that's the stack of Turtles. Pretty fucking exciting, if I do say so myself. So the rest of this is just random stuff. So we'll go through this. First up here, Saga of the Von Erich Warriors. So I'm not a big wrestling guy. A couple of guys on my bowling team are, though. So I sent him a photo of this saying, hey, were these real wrestlers, or was this something that was taken taken from wrestling magazines and characters created. Like, look at this. It looks like it's art directly from wrestling magazines as he goes to throw a lion by its tail. Looks so odd, just very strange kind of layout there. So this is some sort of sci-fi. So you get the inside front cover and the inside back cover are blank for autographs. And it's some sort of sci-fi story using this family of wrestlers. Yeah. And apparently they had a really troublesome, kind of sad life. Didn't a couple of the brothers commit suicide? One of the guys was telling me. Is that true there, Gore? Oh, you think a film has been made about him? Okay, well, I'll have to dig into that. So some sort of sci-fi type story where they're kind of the last force that are fighting these aliens that are coming to Earth, is what I gather from a quick flip through this book. But it is such unique, unusual looking art. And then we get a couple of pages here of world-class championship wrestling t-shirts, jackets, gym and book bags, bumper stickers, hats, photos, wrist and headbands, etc., etc. Yes, one or two of the brothers did. Kay, didn't know about this comic book. No, I've never seen this before either. And it's oversized as well too. It's kind of that golden age type of size, by a company called Sage Productions that, again, I've never heard of. But this is the beauty. This is a lot of this dollar stuff is from Wayne's boxes, and he has some amazing stuff in his dollar boxes, because he buys these collections. I feel like he just buys collections as opposed to cherry picking for the ones that are kind of gonna make him the most money. He just buys collections, so he always has some incredible cheap boxes that are filled with all sorts of oddities, which is why I love digging through them there. Did I say a year? Let's have a look here. 1988. Published by Sage Productions out of Texas there, Gore. P.O. Box 8541, Tyler, Texas. There you go. So that's that one. The rest of these are just alphabetical. Iron Claw is the name of the film, starring Zac Efron. Cool. I'll have to check that out, see if I can find it online. So Black Star, I believe this was only a 2-issue series from a company called Imperial Comics, another company that I haven't heard of. 1986, the golden year. Boulder, Colorado is where this one comes out of. John Arcudi doing some write-up on the inside here. See if we can get a proper credits page. James Jenkins, pencils by Fred, inks by Brian Matthews, Decline doing the lettering, and editor John Arcudi. Looked interesting. I thought I had an issue of Black Star. It must be something else though, because when I put this into my app, the other issue I still don't have. So I don't know if there was another couple of issue series for another company. I'll have to dig in the filing cabinet to see if I find something. Another issue of Cormac Mac Art, issue number 3 of 4. I'm now just missing one other issue. I'm not a huge fan of this. The one issue when I got the very first one, it wasn't something that blew me away. But now I just seem to keep finding them one at a time here, so it's hard to pass up again when they're $1. So yeah, Roy Thomas and E.R. Cruz. This one's not in bad shape actually. Exquisite Corpse. Hello, Damien. Exquisite Corpse on the back there. This is one that Colin showed off in his haul video. I think it was a 3 or 4 issue series called Dart, and the covers completely blew me away. The interiors are pretty wild as well too. I think he was saying this character was an offshoot from Savage Dragon, I think is what he said. Bruce Love, Julie Dietrich, Joseph Zekres, Chris Iliopoulos. Yeah, so Eric Larson is the editor and the Dart creator. So there you go. and this is 1996. So the covers alone caught my attention, but then when he started flipping through them, just a wild, oh, this one's ripped at the back. So there you go. That's why it was a buck. When he flipped through them, like, this is wild looking shit here. So this immediately went on the list. I'd love to find this. Has kind of like that Pander Brothers type of vibe to it. There's something about it, and the unique body shapes and the way, just everything about it is just wild. Really amazing looking stuff here. So looking forward to finding the rest of these. So that's Dart. Dead Heat from All American Comics. 1990 issue on this one. Vanessa Howell, Gary Washington, Marcus Rowley. Names that don't mean anything to me, but with a cover like that, I'm sold. The other Howarth Turtles is a 1992 one-shot, The Haunted Pizza. Cool, man. That's amazing. Thank you, Gary. I'll check it out. But I mean, with the dollar books, most of them weren't bagged or anything, so I could have a flip through when I came across some of these unusual ones. I like the interior. This kind of has that American manga type of flavor to it. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I think when I put it in my CLZ, it's the only thing. It was the only issue. Look at this. It was the only issue. So yeah, we'll see. A couple of issues of Dead World. I only have one other issue of this one. I end up seeing this a fair bit, actually, and I always end up passing it up. I think I'm really going to try to start picking these up. There was some issues that came out from Arrow, and then Caliber picked them up afterwards. I think it went 20-something issues. The one that I do have, I kind of dug it, actually. This is kind of wild looking stuff. Almost has a Wrightson type flavor to it. Not as polished, obviously, but something about those poses and things. Stuart Kerr, and artist by Vince Locke, of course. Yes. So beautiful looking stuff. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start grabbing these when I see them, and not pass them up anymore. Here's a early Dave Cooper. I think he's just inking on this one. Yeah, Barry Blair, and then inker is Dave Cooper. So Cooper ended up doing a bunch for Aircell. I don't remember if Colin had originally told me about this one. This was the only issue that I found. I think it was only a 4-issue miniseries. This is Demon Hunter. You can absolutely get a sense of that early Cooper, but it's not as noodly and wild as some of his other stuff that he did for Aircell, including that Puke and Explode and things like that. So, but still, you can still get that sense of that early Dave Cooper in this one. So, well worth picking up, I think. One of my favorite companies, Eastern, doing the Manhwa comics. This is issue number 1 of the Demon Warrior. I don't see this one around. I thought it was going to be one that I had to order away to Lone Star. This is 1987, so it's great to find at least one issue. That gives me hope that I'll be able to find the other ones. It looks fantastic, just like all of the Eastern comics do. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. If you see these, they're well worth your time. Really, really great. Gore, there's something about the way you're speaking now that's really sus. Existing Earth from Wind Wolf Graphics. Tell me that isn't a comic you would pay even $2 for. I sure as hell would pay $2 for it. It has the bonus of coming out of fucking Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. There's nothing. I can tell you for a fact, there ain't shit in Saskatoon. Saskatoon and Regina. It boggles my mind that there was comics coming out of Saskatoon. One province over. I've been to Saskatoon many, many times. So Colin Oleekson and Brent Butt, lettered by Tim Fulkerson. and cover art by Terry Galecki. I love, love the way this looks. This is probably one of the highlights for me out of it. The poor reproduction. It looks like the Xerox machine was running out of black ink. It's incredible. This is the kind of stuff that I just live for. As I was digging through the bins, there was another guy. Holy smokes, look at this guy. Werewolf by Lunchtime. How are you? Do you think Brent Butt is a pen name? I have no idea. It should be if it isn't. This is the stuff that I live for. When I was going through one of the bins, or one of the dealer's stuff, it's a guy that I haven't met before, and he saw the couple of, I only bought, I think, 4 or 5 books from him, from his dollar bin, and he was surprised at the stuff I was pulling out. He's like, "So you're really into the old indies, eh?" It's like, yes. I said, I got nothing against the other books that you got here, but this is the stuff that's gold for me, and this is just phenomenal. I cannot wait to dig into this one. This will be kind of top of the stack. So I will report back. Next issue in Existing Earth, number 3, 5 Stories Above a Nation, coming soon from Windwolf Graphics. I'm gonna have to do some searching online for this Windwolf, but that cover is outstanding, man. Incredible. This one I had when I was a kid. I loved Geriatric Gangrene, Jujitsu Gerbils. I loved Prime Slime. I loved those Crazy Peckers. I loved all of that stuff. I'm so glad to have this issue again. You don't even know. I had the whole run, and it's just one of those that left the collection, and I've regretted it ever since. I don't know why I would get rid of it. I must have read this thing, I don't know how many times, man. I read this to death. 1986, Hamden, Connecticut is where this comes out of. But this is what I was reading in 1986. So as much as I knew about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was reading the knockoffs. I loved the knockoffs, the Geriatric Gangrene, Jiu-Jitsu Gerbils, Preteen Dirty Jean, Kung Fu Kangaroos, Fish Police, Captain Jack. Like, those were the 80s comics that I was really drawn to. But like I said, this was it. This Geriatric Gangrene Jiu-Jitsu Gerbils was the book for me. So many times I read this thing, so many times. Yeah, I wish I had that whole run. So I'm now very much on the hunt to get the rest of these issues. I think it went like 6 issues or something like that. But this very cartoony kind of artwork. Yeah, a little bit Klausish for sure. I can see that. And these kind of like just silly gags. Just amazing stuff. Let's see at the back. I think they have some ads here. Yeah, Prime Slime Tales was another one that I got there as well. Yeah, and then this Brooklyn Troll. I think I had that issue as well too. But I don't remember as much about that one. It was these two that I was really all over. So that's great. Another one that Colin showed, I have the other issue. So this is volume 2 from the Icon Devil. There was only the 2 issues. I think there was another 2 issues as well. Yes, Ralph Snart. That was another title that I was big into as well, Damien. I loved Ralph Snart. Again, those are long gone, and I kind of regret that as well. I love this cover. I love the colors, that kind of neon orange, which also, I kind of want to find a second issue of this because I want to pull this poster out and hang it up in the comic room here. Because that's fantastic. So I'm excited about this one. I'm going to dig out that other issue and give this a read now. Just going to grab something here. Stand by. Let's see if I can get rid of that shadow. It's getting a little darker in here. There we go. How's that? That's looking better, hey? That Gerbils art shouldn't be that good. I agree. I agree, Gary. It shouldn't be that good, but it just is. There we go. That's much better. Let's go up on this camera a little bit too. Stand by while I readjust, reframe. There we go. So that's Icon Devil. If, like I said, if you haven't seen Colin's Portland Hall videos, his three videos, some incredible stuff, and this was one in there. Look at this, the Jam issue #1, the only issue that was there. So glad to find this. I'm surprised I didn't see more. So this is 1989, Bernie Moreau. I talked to Bernie Moreau recently, or I guess not recently, it was last year at this point. With Mackenzie Queen there, that series, and everybody was like, yeah, you gotta read some Jam, you gotta find the Jam. So glad I found an issue. Can't wait to dig into this, and another one that's high on the list for me to grab. So yeah, he does. There is a new Clowes book coming out. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm blanking on the title of it right now, though. Female character, I think, is the lead in it, though. And the book is her name, but I'm just forgetting what it is. So that's from Slave Labor. This one from Asylum Graphics called The Law, issue 1. There wasn't another issue in my CLZ, so I think this is it. You get the bonus. So there's our main character there. We get a photo on the back of, I'm assuming, the creators, one of them dressed up as the character. How incredible is that? And on the inside, we get pictures of them as well, too. What year is this? I think this comes out of Ohio. Asylum Graphics. Carrollton, Ohio. Yeah, and I'm not seeing a date for when this one came out. The cover is what grabbed my attention, and doing a quick flip through, it looked pretty great. So why not give it a shot there? See if there's a year at the back or anything. No, nothing. Coming in 1990. So I guess maybe this is 1989. This issue possibly. Monica, thank you, Werewolf. Yeah, that's right. This caught my attention. There was 2 issues of this. Legentia. This is kind of just an illustrated story here, but I guess they were also going to do a role-playing book. This is from 1987 here. This is Phoenix, Arizona, Opus Graphics. I love the looks of this stuff, and the inside looks incredible as well too. I love the color choices, this blue and that kind of peach, pinky kind of color. Really nice looking stuff. It's beat to hell, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. I love the RPG world. I love the wonky looking faces. Very curious to know more about this. I happen to love cleavage too, strangely enough. So that has that bonus going for it. But look at this. That's incredible. I love that illustration so much. So yeah, this was a nice... Didn't expect to walk away with gerbils and turtles on my want list. Yeah, absolutely. But this looks just outstanding. It's really, really nice paper as well too. Very kind of sturdy. Yeah, beautiful looking stuff. I love this. This looked wild. Lovely Prudence. This looked like it would fit right in. I'm surprised this didn't have the Fantagraphics logo in the corner, to be honest. Look at this filthy hands from these comics. Because this looks like it would fit right in with Drawn and Quarterly or Fantagraphics of the era. Where do we got coming out of here? All the Rage Comics, New York, 1995. Editor Terry Pirate, written and illustrated by Mays. Assistant artist Alan Scott. This looks incredible. Truer words were never spoken. This looks really, really great, though. This really seems to fit in with that 90s indie type of art. I'm surprised I haven't seen this before. There must be a backstory to these creators, why they didn't get picked up, or I don't know. There's got to be something. Yeah. an oversight. Look at this. Looks wild. Love it. And then there's a flip cover on the back here too, with some extra gore. This was in a bag. I bought a comic and it had 2 comics in it. I don't remember what the comic was, because I was hoping that it was 2 issues of, oh yeah, I was hoping it was 2 issues of Stins, because it was the Stins from Brave New Words, and I didn't even think to pull the other one out to see what it was. This was that one, and I mean, it still looks incredible. Chrome Tiger Comics, so kind of a 2 for $1 issue here. 1988, Bellevue, Washington, I guess is where this is coming out of. And then here's some credits here. Christopher Rush doing some art, Cindy Murata, Donna Barr, Mike Rabb, cover by Christopher Rush. Yeah, don't know anything about this one, but it looks pretty cool. The beautiful black and white. Here we go. Here's the second story. Tales of the Red Legion. Story Clifton Jackson, art Cindy Murata. Looks like just a, oh yeah, just a few pages here. Yeah, looks all right. Another company I've never heard of before, Chrome Tiger. This was another one that Colin had in his video. I grabbed it when I saw it, when I checked my CLZ. Turns out I already have a copy, but it can't hurt to have 2 copies of an Alex Nino book. Beautiful interiors. His style is incredible. I still follow him on Instagram, and he still posts videos, painting and art. And it's amazing to watch his videos, like his process videos. You can find them on YouTube as well, I think. But this is a real wild psychedelic kind of book here. Very Nino at his kind of at the edges, doing some more abstract type of artwork, and I absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous book. Yeah, so do I, Damien. I wish he did more as well too, especially when you see stuff like this. It's just amazing. So it doesn't hurt having a second copy of that for sure. You cannot find any of this stuff in Australia. When I lived in London, it was easy to pick up these great underground comics. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And again, like I've said before, I realize I'm incredibly lucky living here. This blows my mind. I've never seen any of these from, is that Fantico? Is that the logo of that company? There was a series that came out after this too, 5 issues maybe. When I saw this cover, I was hoping that I would open it up and it would be the same art, and it abso-fucking-lutely is, and it's gorgeous. I'm so excited about this one too. So this is 1991, Albany, New York. Story Tom Sculan and art Carlos Castro. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff. There was a million Night of the Living Dead miniseries from all sorts of companies. I want to say Dark Horse, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, this is one that I've never seen before. And if the rest of the series looks like this, I am absolutely on board, because this is stunning looking stuff. Like, look at these faces. They're incredible. Really, really incredible. And it's such a, I mean, it's such an important movie in horror movies. Like, look at this. Chewing on a face here. What the fuck, man? Unreal. And this panel here, wow. Almost a Sienkiewicz kind of looking style there. So good. So good. Yeah. Going to do a search on Lone Star to see what the rest of these look like, what the rest of the covers look like. I'm hoping that it's the same artist. I'm hoping it's the same people involved with the rest of it. And all the way to the back cover. So not much else other than the inside front cover. The rest is story. But that's incredible stuff. Night of the Living Dead Prelude is that one for the folks at home. Yeah, looks amazing. Dinner Time Comics, absolutely. Whatever happened to all these creators? A documentary about them would be great. It would be great. And I've tried to reach out to a couple of these creators. There was someone that I did find, an artist for a Canadian comic. And I had tried to get an interview with them, but it's not easy. And I don't want to keep bugging these people because I mean they've all got their lives. The stuff they were doing was back in the 80s. I don't know how excited they are to be talking about it or how they feel about it. So I always feel a little weird, kind of like pushing, because I also don't want to be a pushy kind of fanboy. But I may reach out to him again, just to see if, because I would love to talk to some of these guys and just see kind of what was in the air, why were they doing what they did, all of that, like get a bit more of a sense of the comics at that time, especially the Canadian creators. I think would be obviously exciting for me being a Canadian and all. I need to move to Canada. Never see old Fanticos. I rarely do as well there, Gary. It's not something that I see a lot of. Another one from Colin. I have one issue of this somewhere. It's not entered in my CLZ, which makes me think I might have got rid of it. But this is Pirate Core, issue number 4. Did it go to a couple of companies? Evan Dorkin, 1988 is when this is from. I know Evan Dorkin's name. I've seen his stuff before. I'm not an Uber fan or anything, but when Colin was showing off the covers, it kind of stuck in my head. Again, the only issue in the cheap boxes, I didn't see any more, which was a bit surprising. But there you have it. So one issue of Pirate Core. Another issue of Puma Blues that I needed. This is near the end of the run. This is issue number 21 or 22, sorry. I'm pretty close to having them all. I can't wait to get them all because I really want to sit and read this again. 1989, Stephen Murphy and Michael Zulli. Beautiful, beautiful book. Aardvark Vanaheim, right, for this one. Doesn't have that on the front there, but I'm sure it's published through Mirage Studios. I thought it was Aardvark Vanaheim or something, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Or did it start there? Anyway, you know the book. You know it. You love it. Slowly but surely chipping away at this. Very slowly but surely. There was a couple of other issues there as well, but they were ones that I already had. So Rad Rex, I think it's only a 3-issue series. Unfortunately, this is a double for me. I didn't check my CLZ closely enough because I didn't recognize the cover. So I'm missing issue number 3. So it's always a bit of a thing having doubles of some of this black and white stuff, because it's not like there's guys in town that I can kind of trade with or anything. I've got a double of 3 if you have a number 3. Caliber Comics, Saint Germain, never heard of it. Bought it purely because it was Caliber Comics and it was $1. Gary Reed and Vince Locke, names that didn't hurt it as well. 1997 on this one. Looked good. This one was bagged, so I didn't have a chance to flip through it, but it does look pretty good opening it up. Like I said, though, it was Caliber, and these days I'm very, very much willing to give Caliber Comics stuff a try, because there's just been so many surprise hits for me through Caliber. Another one, I just like the cover, Skeleton Key, issue number 2 from August of 1995. This one went like 10 issues or something when I was looking. This is a division, Amaze Inc. is a division of Slave Labor Graphics, San Jose, California. Looks interesting. Not much else to say about it, really. Sock Monkey, Tony Millionaire, a couple of issues. This is from volume 1. This is issue number 2. And then from volume 2, issue number 1. Always something I've been curious about. Obviously, you don't know Tony Millionaire's name very, very well, and I've seen his art all through my life, but I don't actually own anything by him unless he's appeared in a couple of anthologies or something. So These were $1 a piece, 1998 for that one, and probably, yeah, 1999 for this next one here. So Star Wars 3D, this was a 3-issue series as well. I love the Blackthorn 3D books. This was $1, so it was a no-brainer. Doesn't come with 3D glasses, unfortunately, but I have a stockpile of them somewhere with all my other 3D books. Yeah, I mean, this was purely because I love 3D comics. I enjoy Star Wars. I'm not an uber fan, but yeah, figured this had to come home with me for sure. So Brave New Words, Stins. Colin was talking Brave New Words yesterday because he got a Matt Howarth one-shot that was from Brave New Words, and he was saying that it looks like they published a lot of Matt Howarth stuff. So, oh, here's this Donna Barr again. So that's why I recognize the name from that other issue there. What was I saying? Oh, that because they had ads for a bunch of Howarth stuff, Colin was wondering if Brave New Words was a company that was owned, a publisher that was owned by Howarth himself. I know Stins also went on to another company. I've seen it around. I've never picked up an issue, but I dig this Brave New Words, the stuff that I do have. So a company that I'm on the lookout for now that it's on my radar for sure. So yeah. The Washmen from New York Comics. What year do we have here? 1986, the Golden Age. My wife bought me the Clowes Artist Edition. Oh shit, man. It's about the size of a single bed. Yeah, that's amazing. I bet you that looks just stunning. Yeah. Nothing really to say about this. A Watchmen kind of goof. So flipping through it and seeing this art, it was another that was just a no-brainer to come home with me. So there you have it. Last couple of books here. Werewolf at Large from Eternity, another company that I get a kick out of. This is a Tim Vigil cover. This was a 3-issue series as well. I've never seen a single issue of this before. S.A. Bennett and John Ross on art for this one. And then, like I said, Tim Vigil doing the cover. 1989 from Eternity. So it looks like an original, unlike the other werewolf stuff that I have from Eternity, which looks like reprints of European comics. This one looks to be something that was original. Looks great though. That's a wild looking werewolf. Some crazy looking art. I'm a big fan of werewolf movies. Ooh, Jake Thrash from Aircell. And then finally, Zalastrea and the Bard. I have another issue of this. So this is issue number 1. I think I've got issue number 3 or something like that. It has a photo cover. So the only reason I bought it is because I have another issue. Stuff like this, I would love to. Yeah, Ginger Snaps is fantastic gore. With stuff like this, I feel like once I have a couple of issues, I owe it to myself and the creators from comics past to get every single issue and really give it its a full shot and read the entire thing. So yeah, looks pretty great to me. Is there any photo stuff in the back here? Because I think in that other issue they may have had a couple of pages. Oh, look at this. There you go. Colin, we need to get a Zalastrea and the Bard shirt. We need to get these things reprinted. Michigan, $9 and a subscription. Wow, they were thinking of doing 12 issues. First 500 copies sold through the mail will be signed and numbered upon request. Limit 5 per customer. White logo on black shirt. Wow. Yeah, these 80s and 90s indie comic companies. Did I say what year this was? Yeah, 1987 on this one. I'd love to find a stockpile of shirts from these companies from back then. Someone's got to be sitting on a bin full of them. Anyway, that's it, people. Thanks very much for hanging out for an hour. So again, no chat tomorrow. We'll be back next Sunday on Ross's channel. Thanks very much for hanging out. It's good to see you guys. And we'll talk to you.